Hey, juniors, how you doing? Today is February the 2nd, Thursday, February the 2nd, and let's look at what we're doing today. And our big goal today is to do the writing of the first paragraph of our essay. Um, if as a quick reminder, just what our essay will look like in the end, we will have three paragraphs. The first paragraph will be your explanation of what an American is, how you define an American. We will use that dictionary definition, your justification of why it's not perfect, and then your definition of what American is. And then paragraph two and paragraph three will be two different rhetorical strategies used to define an American that you use to come up with yours. And for each of those, you will use a different text. Okay, so that's the broad scope of the paper. We're going to do paragraph one today. That's our goal, is to do paragraph one today. So it's often said that being an American means sharing a commitment to a set of values and ideals. Writing about the relationship of ethnicity and American identity, the historian Philip Gleason put it this way: to be or to become an American, a person did not have to be any particular national, linguistic, religious, or ethnic background. All he had to do was commit himself to the political ideology centered on the abstract ideals of liberty, equality, and republicanism. Thus, the universalist ideological character of an American nationality meant it was open to anyone willing to become an American. That's a big mouthful. What does that mean? So it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter your starting point, right? Your religion, your language, your background, none of that matters. According to Philip Gleason, it was your commitment to the American values and the American ideal. That was what made you an American. Um, and that's what we want to think about, is how would we describe our definition of being an American? So let's take a look at the doc that we're going to work on today. Um, Part of this we did yesterday. Part of this we walked through yesterday to make sure that we were going, that we had all the pieces that we needed before we got started. One thing I do want to point out is these exemplars. There are three examples of good, eh, and not good essays. And I wanted to put these in here because I wanted you to see kind of what you needed to accomplish to get to that good or that grade, to get the grade you wanted, right? Um, you will note that these are not texts that we used. I wanted to make sure that you weren't just going to take my examples and copy and paste and change a couple words and turn it back in. Obviously, you wouldn't have done that anyway, but I just don't want to tempt you to. And so I used texts that were not in our reading set. You will notice that this example of an 8, 9, or 10 not only makes valid points, but then it explains it. It has examples from different texts and explains how those examples prove their point. You will see number 7. It does have those examples, but it doesn't really do any of that explanation. It gets us started, but it doesn't finish it. And then that example of a 5 or a 6, it just makes references to sources without really providing any depth, any meaning, any kind of justification. So those are there to help you just kind of get a sense of what you need to do to get the grade that you want. We have this, which we worked on yesterday. Um, this definition of an American. What does the dictionary say? Negation. What is not an American? The function. What does an American do? Exemplification. What's an example of? And like we talked about, it could be a individual or it could be a type of person, it could be like the type of personality, or it could be like a particular class or group of people that people belong to, right? That we identify as being really strong Americans. Okay, but it doesn't have to be an individual single person. And then classification is just putting things in groups and classes of things. The big one that's a little bit different for us is that dictionary definition, because that's how we start paragraph one, by saying, here's what the dictionary says, but this is what I believe. Then we get into the actual writing of paragraph one. Okay, the actual writing of it. According to whatever dictionary you're using, an American is blank. All right, like literally, you could start it just like that. Okay. But then the second sentence is that contrast. Why do you feel that's inadequate? Why do you feel that's incomplete? Why do you feel that's not the best definition? Okay. That is where you make that pivot from the dictionary to your definition, from what the official to what is the personal. And then the thesis, that is where you pitch your idea of an American. Like, what does it mean to be American? This is your piece. And this is where you use those definition strategies and you start pulling in those ideals, right? Like the things that you had. Now, I don't expect to see those definition strategies here. I don't expect to see the word classification or exemplification, but the things that we looked at in the different texts that we saw, and you pull those ideas, those are what go in here to help you define what it means to be an American. Now, those 3 lines there are just pre-writing. They're here to help you gather your thoughts and put everything together into one place. You will actually put it all together down here under put it all together. This will be the part that's graded. Now, the part above it is just pre-writing. We will not be grading that. Okay. That is just there to help you get started and organized and ready to go. The part that will be graded is that part right there where you put everything together into your formal answer. Um, Again, just to kind of give you that overview, we will start with this, the definition. We will then move in paragraph 2 and 3, those rhetorical strategies to show what that looks like, what those qualities that you used in your definition, what those look like from the text. This first paragraph is just the definition. And that's all we have to do with this first step is just the definition part of what it means to be an American. As you are working through this, please make sure that if you have any kind of questions or you hit any kind of stumbles, please make sure you're reaching out to Miss McGuire so that we can provide you with what you need to be successful. And good luck, everybody.